Have an old Windows 8 computer gathering dust? Before you think about recycling it, what if I told you that you could make it feel faster, more secure, and genuinely useful again, all for free? That's where Linux Mint comes in. It's a modern, elegant operating system that's perfect for breathing new life into aging hardware. Today, I'm going to walk you through the entire process, step by step. We'll cover two main paths: a dual boot, where you can keep Windows 8 and choose which to use at startup, or a full replacement, where Linux Mint takes over completely for maximum performance. Before we start, let's do a quick gear check. You'll need a USB stick, at least 8 GB is best. You'll also need a stable internet connection for the download, and about 30 to 60 minutes of your time. Most importantly, if you have any personal files on that computer, photos, documents, anything you can't afford to lose, now is the time to back them up to an external drive or cloud service. This is non-negotiable, especially if you're considering replacing Windows entirely. With your data safe, there are two quick checks to do in Windows. First, make sure your laptop is plugged into a power source. An installation interrupted by a dead battery can cause major headaches. Second, we need to check for BitLocker. Go to your control panel, then System and Security, and find BitLocker drive encryption. If it's on, you must decrypt the drive before proceeding. The Linux installer can't resize an encrypted partition. Next, let's figure out your PC's firmware. Press the Windows key in R, type mzinfo32, and press Enter. Look for BIOS mode. It will say either Legacy or UEFI. Most Windows 8 machines use UEFI, which often comes with a feature called Secure Boot. Linux Mint is designed to work with Secure Boot, but if we run into trouble later, we might need to temporarily disable it in the BIOS settings. Just remember this for now. Now for the fun part. Open a web browser and go to linuxmint.com. Click on the download page. You'll see a few different editions like Cinnamon, Mate, and Xfce. Cinnamon is the most popular with a modern interface, but for older, lower-spec machines, I highly recommend the Xfce edition. It's lighter and will feel much snappier. We'll be using the latest long-term support, or LTS, version. Once the download is complete, it's a good practice to verify the file's integrity. On the download page, you'll find a Xfce256sum.txt file. This is like a digital fingerprint. By running a simple command in the Windows command prompt, you can compare the fingerprint of your downloaded file with the official one to ensure it wasn't corrupted during download. With our verified Linux Mint ISO file ready, we need to create a bootable USB drive. My favorite tool for this on Windows is Rufus. It's free, small, and reliable. Go to rufus.ie and download it. Now, plug in your USB stick and open Rufus. First, under Device, make sure your USB drive is selected. Be careful, as the next step will erase it. Next, click Select and choose the Linux Mint ISO file you just downloaded. Now, for the important part, partition scheme. Based on our check earlier, if your system is UEFI, choose GPT. If it was legacy BIOS, you'd choose MBR. For our Windows 8 machine, it's almost certainly GPT. Leave the file system as FAT32, then click Start. Acknowledge the warning that your USB will be erased, and let Rufus work its magic. If you're planning to dual boot, we have one more preparatory step inside Windows. We need to make some free space for Mint. Right-click the Start button and open Disk Management. Find your C, Drive, right-click on it, and select Shrink Volume. You'll want to shrink it by at least 30 GB, which is 30,000 megabytes. I'd recommend 50 GB or more if you have the space. This creates an unallocated block on your drive, where we'll install Mint. Finally, we need to disable Windows Fast Startup. This feature prevents a true shutdown, which can interfere with our installation. In the control panel, go to Power Options, click Choose what the power buttons do, then change settings that are currently unavailable. Uncheck the box for Turn on Fast Startup and save your changes. Now, we're ready to reboot. With the bootable USB plugged in, shut down your computer completely. Now turn it back on and immediately start pressing the key to enter your boot menu. This is often F12, F2, Escape, or Delete. It varies by manufacturer, so you may need to look it up for your specific model. In the boot menu, use your arrow keys to select the USB drive you created, and press Enter. You should see a menu from Linux Mint. Select the top option, Start Linux Mint, and press Enter. Your computer will now boot into a live session of Linux Mint. Nothing is installed yet, it's all running from the USB stick. This is the perfect opportunity to test things out. Does your Wi-Fi connect? Does the trackpad work? Can you hear sound? Take a moment to explore. When you're ready, find the Install Linux Mint icon on the desktop and double-click it. The installer will guide you through language and keyboard layout. The most critical screen is Installation Type. If you prepared your drive for a dual boot, you should see the option Install Linux Mint alongside Windows 8. This is the simplest and safest way to set up a dual boot. It will automatically use the free space we created. If your goal is to completely replace Windows for a faster, dedicated Linux machine, you'll choose Erase Disk and install Linux Mint. Be absolutely certain this is what you want. This action is irreversible and will delete Windows 8 and all your files. There's also a something else option for advanced users who want to create manual partitions. But for most people, the first two options are perfect. After making your choice, the installer will ask you to confirm the changes to your disk. Then, you'll set your time zone, create your user account and password, and the installation will begin. This can take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. Once it's finished, you'll be prompted to restart your computer. When you see the message, remove the USB drive and press enter. Upon rebooting, you'll be greeted by a new menu called Grub. This is your bootloader. If you chose to dual boot, you'll see options for both Linux Mint and Windows. You can use the arrow keys to choose which operating system you want to start. It will default to Linux Mint after a few seconds. Welcome to your new Linux Mint system. The very first thing you should do is update your system. Look for the shield icon in the bottom right corner of your screen. This is the update manager. Open it, let it refresh, and then install all available updates. This ensures you have the latest security patches and bug fixes. After updating, open the driver manager. This tool will scan your hardware and check if there are any proprietary drivers available, often for Wi-Fi cards or NVIDIA graphics cards. Installing these can significantly improve performance and stability. Finally, I strongly recommend opening the TimeShift application. It's a fantastic system backup tool. Take a snapshot of your fresh installation. That way, if you ever break something while experimenting, you can easily restore your system to a working state. And that's it. You now have a fast, secure, and modern operating system running on your old hardware. You can explore the Software Manager to find thousands of free applications, from web browsers and office suites to games and creative tools. If you ran into any issues like the USB not booting or Wi-Fi not working, don't despair. Common solutions include remaking the USB, temporarily disabling secure boot in your BIOS, or checking the driver manager again. If you have questions about partitioning or choosing the right Mint edition for your PC, drop a comment below. Enjoy your revitalized computer.